The beautiful Kent countryside, the perfect place to relocate and bring up a family. That's what the Jacobsons thought when they moved over from Canada. The Gray family were also drawn to this idyllic location. But then, both families became neighbours.
Don't touch her!
I want that smirk wiped off his face. That's what I want.
He will be arrested by the end of the week.
I want you to go in there and tell him it's all over.
However, help is on its way. Former UN peace negotiator Colonel Bob Stewart will use all his skills in an attempt to overcome 18 months of hostilities and bring about a settlement.
Sit down and take it.
Who do you think you're talking to?
When 47-year-old Brian Bewes landed a job as a teacher in the UK, he decided to move his family from Canada to Kent. His partner, 42-year-old Hazel Jacobson, used to work as a police dispatcher, but now spends her time looking after their 5 boys, aged from 3 to 17.
The reason we chose the place was, of course, the area. It was quiet, peaceful, perfect location to have your family.
A year later, the Greys moved in next door, and they immediately became friends.
They would come over for dinner, their kids would always be over to play. Zoe would have someone to have coffee with during the day. It was great.
But after just 6 months, cracks started to appear in their neighbourhood bliss.
I went over to take a cigarette over to Zoe. She started crying and telling me that her and Jamie had had a big fight that night. He had taken off. She showed me some bruises on her body that she said he did. And she didn't want to report it to police. I sat and talked with her for a little while. Was there for about maybe 45 minutes. And as I was leaving, Jamie pulled back into the driveway. And he looked extremely angry at the fact that I was coming out the door.
And, according to Brian and Hazel, from that moment on, relations became increasingly bitter.
He's done a couple of things. He's driven a car at Brian and Jason. So yeah, that kind of thing, that does lead me to believe that, yeah, he's a danger to my kids.
He put his hands down like that and his eyes were just above the wheel. And
Came out in the morning and the rear lights in our car had been kicked in. I took that as a warning.
He's made death threats where he's gone like that, slit throat to the kids, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. He's standing there and you look up and right away it's, like this, and you go, like, what is your problem?
After 18 months of fighting, involving the police, social services and the council, the Jacobsons see little hope of a resolution.
There's not a chance in hell of being friends with him.
I want that smirk wiped off his face. That's what I want. We're not going to kowtow to that man. He's not going to push us around. And I just want him to stop.
The feelings run just as deep next door, but the Greys have a very different version of events.
Why did they have to lie about us? Why did they have to try and destroy everything around us? We can't talk to anybody because they all think we're this and that because of the lies.
Before a rare back condition forced him to give up work, 40-year-old Jamie Gray was a nightclub doorman. That's when he and his 32-year-old partner Zoe Mortimer decided to move the family into the countryside. However, after a disagreement with their neighbours, their idyllic new life in the country turned sour.
She just tied a washing line onto a weak post and just filled it with wash and it started pulling over. And I was like, oh, you can't really do that. So I did say to her, can you not put that on there? And she just laughed at me. And said, I put my washing line where I want to put my washing line. And I said, but you know you're pulling the fence over. She said, so? And just walked away.
Over the next few months, the situation escalated. Jamie was even arrested, although all charges were dropped.
All we ever hear is noise, noise, noise. You don't get a minute's peace. 1 week it'll be a hammer drill. The next week it'll be a hammer.
That's when I started getting involved. When it started on the children, like waking them up of the night, making them scared.
The dispute continued to grow and has crept into every aspect of family life.
Courtney was only 3. She ran in the garden and she turned around to Courtney and said, "You can F off back in your house as well." And I thought, I'm not having no more of this, no more. So I took Courtney in, and from then on, everyone helped me. All my friends, everyone, because I haven't got any money. They all brought me wood, they gave me money so I could build a fence.
Despite Jamie's claims, Hazel denies that she has ever actually shouted at the children.
Once that fence was done, I thought, right, that's it. We haven't got to see them anymore. Next thing you know, there's lots of drilling, banging going on, and all of a sudden they're popping up above the fence all over the place.
The Jacobsons claim the platform is a playhouse, but the Greys are convinced there's an ulterior motive.
That platform was built just so they can see over the fence, and they do all their videoing and cameras and all that sort of thing. If they're not there, they're up on there. She said to me, "I'm going to get you out of that house. You're going to move." So she's trying to force us out.
The situation is spiralling out of control, and with little hope on the horizon, both families have agreed to call in former UN peace negotiator Colonel Bob Stewart.
This situation reminds me of so many disputes I've come across in my life, like in Northern Ireland or in the Balkans, where actually the reason for the dispute sort of disappears, and the dispute itself just sort of spews out hatred and becomes a reason for living almost. This dispute that I'm about to get involved in may not be as easy to resolve as it seems on the surface.
Now they've agreed to let ex-UN commander Colonel Bob Stewart try to negotiate a settlement. But to do that, he's going to need help.
I'm going to meet Martin McGowan-Scanlon, an old friend in the army with me, been on operations with me. I trust him absolutely. Martin's job is to actually discover what has happened, what has really happened, because both sides to this dispute will only tell me the story from their point of view, and normally that is a half-truth. Look, he's a happy boy.
Bob's first move is to take Martin up in a chopper to get an overview of the conflict zone.
Martin, what I'm going to get from both families is their viewpoint, their subjective viewpoint, but I need to have an objective viewpoint. I want someone else to give me what actually might be the reality. What sides do the neighbours take? What's the milkman think? What do the police think? What's the landlord think? I think the landlord sort of resides in the farm, which is 12 o'clock. If I have those, it helps me when I come to the negotiation phase.
The Colonel's challenge is to get these two bitter enemies to meet face to face for the first time in 18 months.
Today, I want to go along, I want to meet them, I want to get a feel for the problem. I will achieve nothing unless these people trust me. So, in a way, I'm on trial too.
The first step is to hear each side's version of events, starting with the Greys.
James?
Hello.
Hi, I'm Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Very nice to meet you. And the children. Hey. Hi, Zoe? Yes. I'm Bob. Really nice to meet you. Hello, girls. Twins? Yes.
Every conflict has a front line, and Bob gets Jamie to show him theirs, the garden fence.
Canadian flags? How many flags are there?
Oh, they have them all over the place normally.
Is there a sort of clash of cultures here between, you know, English approach or Canadian approach, or am I being silly? The
Not
Canadian...
at all. The idea of the flags was to wind us up. How that would wind us up, we don't know, but...
Children are watching us from next door now.
Yeah, they will be. They won't acknowledge you, they just stare.
Yeah.
This is the creepy thing.
Yeah.
And they'll be standing below that, asking them what we're doing and where we are.
Yeah, I see. Man to man now, you know, have you ever done anything that will upset them really deeply, or, you know...
I may have told them to pee off or something if they
Piss
started
off.
shouting at me or something like that, and I'll just
or
walk away.
gestures to the children?
No, I'd never gesture to a child,
No.
you know.
Like sort of...
I may have laughed at the children when they were up
cutting
on the
throats or something?
No,
Nothing
that's
like
a bit
that.
pathetic,
Is
isn't
it?
Yeah.
pathetic.
That's a bit-
I think it's pathetic.
That's a bit
too,
childish. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This is their mentality, not ours.
My primary objective on meeting people for the first time is to get to know them, to get them to trust me, and to listen to what they have to say. Although I may want to push them when they admit something, I don't want to do that. I just want this initial meeting to be about getting a feel for the situation.
While Bob is fed one version of events from Jamie Gray, Martin collects intelligence outside of the two families. That includes a meeting with the local police.
So would you say, overall the situation is probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other?
Yeah, police have attended on several occasions to each address to deal with certain matters. Now, some of them haven't been that serious to go out there on blue lights and things like that and attend straight away. A lot of them were dealt with by way of an email to me from our control centre. Because it's in such a rural location, any sort of police patrols would be seen a long time before they got to the addresses, which, would give any offender a long time to be able to see and, either stop what they're doing or get away.
According to the police, it's been hard to gain any real evidence. Back at the Gray's house, Bob continues his research.
Everyone bloody lies. Everyone distorts the truth. We're human beings. That's what happens. When I'm trying to win an argument with my wife, by God, she's done far worse than she has. And it works. That's what human beings are like. Have you elaborated any of your stories that you told me, do you think?
No, we try to tell exactly how it is, because where we had police and everything involved, if you start elaborating and adding bits and this and that, when it comes down to it, a good lie's got to have a good memory.
Both families live in rented accommodation, and Martin has managed to track down their landlord, Philip Taylor. So who does he think is really at fault?
Hi, looking for Philip Taylor? Hi, Martin McGann. Pleased to meet you. How are you?
Both of them are very credible, and you go to one and you hear what they're saying, you hear their testimony, you think, oh, I believe these people. I really believe them. They seem sincere, they seem honest, and you think they must be telling the truth. And then you go next door and hear what they have to say, and you think, maybe it isn't quite so true.
So do you think one of them is lying?
I think somebody must be lying somewhere.
Despite over 18 months' worth of complaints, even the landlord still seems unclear. Right. Meanwhile, Bob continues his investigation.
One question for you in front of Zoe.
Yes.
Do you lose your temper?
Not very often. I'm very, very calm.
Do you push people around?
No.
No?
I never push anybody around.
There was only one instant, and that was to calm me down, and that was a slap on the face.
So hang on, you have calmed you down by giving you
once. But he has never ever, and I swear on my children's life, he has never beat me.
Yeah. Well, think not, of course. Oh, you all right?
Next, the crucial question. Do Zoe and Jamie trust the Colonel enough to meet the Canadian family face to face?
I think it would be very nice if I could meet with you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
And also with your next door neighbours at the same time.
I'll come down with him, but I won't go in.
Yeah, that's great. And we can have a chat and you can help and guide and be with him.
Yeah, but there's no way I'll be going in the same room as him.
No,
okay.
Don't
worry. No, darling, it's no problem on that. Look at you. You're terribly upset by it. And I think the other side, if they realised how upset you were as well by it and how you want it to stop, that would help them.
What I've noticed that's crucial is that each of them has a slightly different approach to the problem. And I think I can use that in the negotiation. And secondly, and this could be very, very important indeed, I think Jamie will actually give quite a lot to satisfy and help his partner get over her problems. I'm going to go and see what the other side have to say about the situation now.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hazel.
Yes.
Bob Stewart.
Hi, how are you?
How do you do? I hear you've got some problems with your neighbours.
Just a little bit.
Can I come in?
Certainly.
Can I ask you one thing, both of you?
has it reached the point of unrecoverable?
Yes.
With him, yes.
Yes. He's subjected my kids to a year of mental anguish. They have to look to see if he's out in the back garden first, whether or not they're going to go out.
Yeah.
That's not normal. And I will not have anybody threatening my children, ever.
I noticed next door I've got a CCTV camera. Do you have a CCTV camera?
We had one up for one weekend, and
On the
we
advice
had
of a
an
police officer?
absolute weekend of bliss. He didn't do one thing to the kids that weekend.
But it's amazing. Within an hour, we had 2 police officers at our door telling us to take it down. Yet he films us constantly, taking pictures, filming us for over a year. If you sat and listened to 1 or 2 of these things, you might say, oh, it's petty and silly.
Yeah.
But if you're subjected to that for 16 months, constantly.
There have been some alleged incidents on both sides. Jamie says the Canadians have been deliberately drilling to annoy his family and claims to have recorded this incident on New Year's Eve.
Some of the
Now Bob can see the scene for himself.
Stop a second, stop a second. Can I just ask?
Yep.
Are these the famous shelves that went up?
Yeah.
So this is the drilling that went up.
Mhm.
You were putting these up. And when did you put these up?
Well, I bought the brackets on January 8th.
Not before the end of the year.
No.
So drilling before the end of the year was something else if it was taking place.
No, because nothing else has been done.
Martin has some more information.
Okay, that's great. Thanks very much indeed. I'll see you very shortly.
He's managed to track down a local man who spent an afternoon working at Jamie's house, who witnessed some drilling for himself.
Ryan? Hi, how you doing? Martin McGann, Scanlon.
At one time, I do remember, there was some drilling going on, just as Jamie's wife put the kids for their afternoon nap. The lady next door started drilling. That's the first
Well, I
thing.
mean, she wouldn't know the kids were going out for the nap, would you?
Apparently, it was a daily occurrence.
What, the drilling at that time?
The drilling, and it was a large hammer drill, you know, so it was quite noisy, vibrating against the wall, and it was the wall upstairs to the bedrooms of the children.
Okay.
Other bits and pieces, obviously, it was all, I was getting all this from Jamie. He was talking to me, so I was getting his side of the story more. But it was a bit of a weird situation.
Back at the houses, the Colonel continues his research into this weird situation. He tackles Hazel as to why she has put the playhouse right next to her neighbour's fence.
This is a view we used to have before the fence went up. Yeah, they might be able to see into the back garden and see their kids playing, but what's the harm?
If this is the only place where your children could see these gestures, have you considered moving this?
No, I shouldn't have to. I'm not going to let him bully my family into doing things to suit him. Go play with your own kids and leave mine the hell alone.
Earlier in the year, the council suggested that both sides enter mediation. Martin's on a mission to find out what happened.
Okay, so can you tell me what you know about the situation between the Greys and the Jacobsons?
Hazel Jacobson rang in to inquire about our service, having been referred by a Seven Oaks District Council.
So Hazel was the first person to call you?
To call us. We then got a telephone call from Zoe in October saying that she wished to take part in mediation, and that message was relayed to Hazel Jacobson, who by that time decided that she didn't wish to engage in the mediation process.
Hazel claims she refused to mediate due to police involvement, but can the Colonel go one better?
I won't sit in a room with that man ever again in my life. If Hazel would like to,
and we've said this from the start, I'm open to a meeting with Zoe initially, and possibly with him after.
I can't promise you Zoe will speak before, but she might speak afterwards. We're like this. I just want 2 to meet, and hopefully then you can speak to Zoe.
Well, I'm not meeting with that jerk on my own.
This is a standard way for people negotiating to behave. Push the stakes up unacceptably. She did it. She pushed the stakes up so they were unacceptable to me, the negotiator, let alone the other side.
I want to talk to her before I talk to the jerk.
That
you can leave it with Bob here to see what,
you know,
what kind of thing.
I'm not in it to be confrontational with Zoe.
Why do you want to talk to her beforehand then? What I want to do is
I
to
know
lance
his
the
be-
boil
I know his
first.
behaviour.
The boil seems to be between you two, really.
I'll probably end up smacking him in the face or him coming at me, and I'll walk
No,
right out.
that won't happen because I'm there.
Okay,
I
well,
can't see a way forward unless you trust me.
You know what? Damn it. I'll meet with him.
You're a good lady. Put your hand there.
No, well,
He's not going to bully me.
What we've just seen is ultimate negotiation gameplay.
I think she was being rather a bitch.
We were that close to the end of this particular game. She blinked, I didn't.
Getting both sides to face each other tomorrow is an achievement, but the Colonel is no closer to working out whose version of events to believe. Bob meets Martin in a field to find out what he has discovered.
My opinion really has been swinging like a pendulum all day. One moment I'm on the Jacobson side, next minute I'm on the Gray side. I was starting to get the impression that people were, whatever they'd been told by either side, that was the camp they then fell into. And the people who'd heard both sides of the story really felt that they couldn't really offer an opinion as to who was to blame.
So, in short, you have come to the conclusion that you're not absolutely certain that anyone's to blame.
Or perhaps it might be fairer to say that I've concluded so far that they're both as bad as each other.
He's a danger to my kids.
She said to me, I'm going to get you out of that house. You're going to move.
Ex-UN peace negotiator Colonel Bob Stewart has convinced both sides to agree to formal talks. But on the morning of the negotiation, some of the participants are getting extremely nervous.
Zoe's upset, so she's been in tears all morning, basically. She's very worried about it. She doesn't want to face her because, she's scared stiff of her, basically, because she doesn't know what she's going to do next. Very upset about it.
The Colonel is on the way to a pre-arranged neutral venue designed to ease the tension, but it could all be to no avail if neither party turns up.
Everything relies now on Zoe turning up. If Zoe doesn't turn up, Hazel is likely to walk. I promised her she'd be there. I'm guaranteeing she will be there. If Hazel doesn't believe in me, doesn't believe that when I give my word it's going to happen, then this negotiation will fail.
The mood in the Jacobsons' house is completely different from next door.
It's been a good morning. It's looking forward to whatever's in store. I feel perfectly fine about the negotiation today because I had nothing to worry about.
Hazel's partner Brian has refused to take part in this part of the process, but Hazel has agreed to represent the Jacobsons on her own.
Bri, we're off. Some chili on the counter, thawing out for dinner. I've no time, no idea. See ya.
So many times in my life, I've been waiting for negotiations to happen. It will be an enormous achievement if both sides turn up. This is the first time they'll have actually been in a room together, sitting face to face.
Hey, much to the Colonel's relief, right? Zoe makes it to the hall with Jamie.
Don't worry, everything's fine. Jamie, how are you? Okay?
Bob.
With Zoe in such a fragile state, Bob has arranged for her to watch the negotiation from another room.
Okay. Martin will look after you. All right? Right. Yeah, don't worry about him. He's with me.
Morning, Bob.
Hello, Hazel. How are you?
How are you?
All right?
Good, thanks.
You two know each other, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you sit there? Who wants to go first?
Seeing as you seem to be the one with the problem, Jamie, go for it.
Jamie?
All I want to know is why you have to lie about us. You tried to have me falsely arrested, and you're just making a life of misery.
Jamie, you know exactly what's gone wrong because it's your behavior. What satisfaction do you get out of bullying kids as young as 2.5 years old, doing slit throat gestures at them? What satisfaction do you get out of that?
What is the colour of the sky in your world? Where do you get them? What is your problem with our bedroom windows? You sit in the garden with chairs facing our bedroom window, watching. Why?
That was for police evidence, Jamie. I have no desire whatsoever to have your mug in my home at all.
Why do you dive around in front of cars, making out they've hit you to try and screw them for money?
You know what, Jamie? If you had
You've got more fiddles than the Philharmonic.
I don't have to make anything up. Does this offend you at all?
No.
So why did you file a complaint of racism with the police over a Canadian flag that flies in the backyard?
The racism was you leaning over the fence saying English white trash and calling our kids English white trash. That was the complaint, not for some silly Muppet flag.
That's not a Muppet flag. Actually, all of us here, including you, Jamie, have respect for the Canadian flag. I can't put my finger on what it is that's got you two neighbours fighting like, dare I say, cats and dogs. What is it? Tell me the thing that's actually made you mad. What is it that's got you going?
I started it, did I?
Yeah, your behaviour. What started it?
Yours started it because I don't work. And she hates anyone that
No,
has
you
any
do.
benefit.
You do work.
They all think they're jealous of, you're jealous of us.
Who?
I ain't going to tell you who, because you will make their life a misery. The same as everyone else around you.
No, you don't want to say who, because you're full of it.
Why do you think it kicked off, Hazel?
We have no idea why he started it. Only he can tell us that.
Both sides have had their say. Now the Colonel wants to challenge them on some of the key allegations.
Right, Jamie. Gestures. Do you or do you not make gestures to people?
No.
Well, that's rubbish. They think you're making those gestures. It's got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you accept that you might make gestures that can be misconstrued, yes or no?
Not directed at anybody, probably.
Not directed,
Yeah.
so you accept that you
Yeah,
might make
I may
gestures?
have made gestures, yeah, but
You know.
not directed at anybody.
Well, I want them bloody well stopped right now. Okay?
Absolutely.
So that's one thing we can sort out here and now. Agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. Gestures are to stop.
Yep.
This platform, Hazel, here, if it wasn't there, gestures wouldn't be seen by the kids. Would you consider moving that platform?
No.
Under the circumstances, you're being pretty inflexible, Hazel.
Then, in the heat of the moment, Jamie accuses Hazel's partner Brian of something too libelous to broadcast.
Have you got evidence to back that up?
Take that back and apologise on that point now, please.
I'm sorry.
The pressure is too much for Zoe, who is about to turn the whole negotiation upside down.
It's over. We're going to put a stop to it. It's over.
She's lying too much.
No,
We're not giving her the bigger stage to tell lies.
What's this not going your way?
No, it's nothing to do with anyone's way. I'm ill. You're making my children ill. That's it. It's over.
Wait. Don't go yet.
You drink too much.
You're a coward.
You believe
You
it.
are a bully.
Wait.
You're nothing less than a coward.
Jamie?
No,
No,
you bully
stop.
men.
Listen.
Would you mind?
Listen.
Let's go.
No, just listen.
That's it.
Just listen.
I'm not listening to that liar
Listen,
no
and
more.
you tell them
Jamie.
you're going to put a stop to it now.
Sit down and take
Please
it.
sit
Who do
down,
you think
Jamie.
you're talking to?
No, please
You
let me...
agreed to come here. It's not going your way.
Jamie.
You're a liar. You are a total and utter liar. You bully your boyfriend about. You do not bully me. That is the problem.
Wait, listen.
That is the problem.
Listen.
I can't be bullied.
Go in there.
No, you just walk away. You can't even handle
No,
the truth.
No, listen. You got to go and do it because then that will make you.
No.
Wait.
You don't want it done.
No, this is what I want. I want this. I want you to go in there and tell them it's all over. That is what I want. Now do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
He's just
Hazel calls home. She discusses the possibility of reporting Jamie to the police.
Go away.
You
You can't leave alone.
I'm not
Shut
a
your
victim
mouth.
of it.
Can you...
No,
No, stop. Don't saying that.
Stop.
Now you're showing temper.
Don't touch her.
You
You filth.
Get away.
Stop.
You are as much a victim of him.
Shut up, you ghost old prat.
I am not
Hey, Jamie.
Calm.
I am not
let's go.
Stop, Jamie. You're proving
Cannot force.
you're losing a temper, and I don't want that.
No, that's why I'm walking away, because I
Okay.
will not lose my
Okay.
temper.
He's being himself.
Right, well, can you...
Go and have a bath.
Right, listen. Please come... Would you both trust me enough, trust me, please trust me, to come back in, and let's listen to the end of it. Please?
It ends.
It does. It can end there, but come and... we're all getting wet. Come and sit...
The truth is not coming out. You haven't said any.
Yeah, come and sit down.
You're
And if
compulsive
Zoe wants
liar.
to stay with us, that would be great. Please come in.
Well, I think I've just ruined it walking in anyway, haven't I?
Jamie, just sit down. Just please sit down.
The Colonel gets the warring parties back into the room. With feelings boiling over, his position is weakened and his plans for peace redundant.
Please sit down.
All he
sit
can
down,
do
sir.
is keep the negotiation alive.
Jamie, do you want this matter resolved?
I want it done. I want it out. I want
And
it finished.
stop the behaviour.
Hazel, do you want this matter resolved?
Yes, I do.
That gives me a start point to this afternoon to come and see both of you. May I have your agreement that I come and see you this afternoon?
Certainly.
Thanks, Hazel. May I come and see you this afternoon?
Sure.
Okay. I didn't know that was going to happen, obviously. And I have had to think very hard as to what we should do now. Because the one thing I don't want to do, and I won't do it, is depart from this place with the situation worse than when I arrived.
It's been a disastrous start to the negotiation. However, the Colonel has a plan B. He wants to make Zoe the new focus of the settlement.
Everyone is concerned about Zoe. Hazel and Brian are concerned about Zoe just as much as Jamie is. So maybe I can use Zoe as a kind of catalyst to help me find a resolution. It's a big gamble, but I think it's the only way I can actually hope to get a resolution to this dispute, because right at the moment, things are in crisis. It's clear on the other side of the fence that they have concern for Zoe. I know that Jamie and you have said, we want this matter resolved, we're prepared to do anything. So I thought, what is the common factor? Zoe. And I want to try and ask you overnight to think of things that might help the situation, calm the situation, get it down to a sort of, at least a neutral position. Obviously, and I want to call it Zoe's list.
Bob has asked Zoe to draw up a list of terms which could help keep the peace. The Greys are on board, but can he sell this to the Jacobsons?
This is the second time I've made this short walk between houses. Last time, I was actually trying to listen to what people had to say. This time, I'm trying to save the negotiation. I want the Jacobsons to agree to look at Zoe's list. It's crunch time.
I've asked Zoe to actually make a list of things that she thinks would improve the situation. And what I want to happen is I want to go back to Zoe tomorrow, discuss that list with her alone.
You know what I like about that?
What?
You've given her some control.
That's true. Clever, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
For the first time in a long time, she's got something to say.
Yeah. She has the control insofar as I take her list, I discuss it with her, I bring it to you, discuss it with you, and then later on in the day, perhaps we meet.
Sure.
Sounds
I'll
good.
meet Zoe.
Sounds good. And you'll meet Zoe any day. Great.
It's the next day, and back at the Greys' house, Bob helps to finalise Zoe's list.
Stop dispute dominating each family life. That's what you mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
As well as making Zoe the focus, Bob is also keen for Jamie to apologise for his wild accusation.
I mean, you've made a pretty slanderous accusation against Brian.
And they've made a lot of slanderous accusations
Well, that's my
against me.
point. I want this matter dead.
Well, that's
Okay.
why I came for yesterday.
Yes,
To-
if you
to
could,
end it.
you'd like to apologise to Brian in person.
Well,
Okay.
I'll do it your way. Or whatever.
I would like you to apologise to Brian in person.
Bob's confident that with Zoe's list and an apology from Jamie, he can stop the Jacobsons calling the police and put the peace process back on track.
I said, Jamie, I told you that allegation was out of line then, and it's still out of line. You've got to go and apologise to Brian.
Only if he comes over here with a letter of ending his tenancy.
I do not want to see that man. The only face I ever want to see of him is behind bars next time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be staring out at him and looking at
I
him.
understand your anger, Brian, because
He's disgusting.
The second matter, I went to Zoe. I asked her to provide me with a list.
Okay.
Lots of points. The first point is both families to have nothing to do with one another. Do you find that a problem?
Not at all.
No abuse in public or gestures.
We've never done it.
Okay, fine. In which case you can sign up to it.
We have done nothing. Absolutely zero.
Please.
No, you know what? Don't put a tick besides those things that
I'm
we
not
say
putting-
we have
I-
never
I'm
done.
not.
The comment I want
I'm-
beside
what
that
I've
is
done- what-
never have done it, never will.
Okay. May I say?
No, but I'm not
may I
signing
say
something
this
that,
might
says,
be.
that suggests I do that anyway.
We have not and will not.
As we have not in the past done this, we will not in the future. I will.
We
sign
will.
that.
Well, I don't want to say it in the past. I want to draw a line. I've got this.
I'm
is
not
the only way.
admitting to a
I know.
behavior that I don't do.
I'm not getting you to admit it. What I'm saying is, we will not abuse anyone in public.
As we have not
make
in the
decisions.
past.
I can't put that in because.
Well, then I can't sign it.
Okay.
Ignore each other.
Righto.
The Colonel's had enough. He's unwilling to bow to the Jacobsons' demands. He leaves without them even accepting Jamie's apology.
It's clear that both of them actually are fairly intransigent. They believe that they are totally right. They have done nothing wrong. And I wonder why they even in a way, want to be part of this process. Because, as I've explained to them, negotiation does involve a bit of compromise. There is no compromise there.
The Colonel has nothing to offer Jamie and Zoe. It looks like the end of the negotiation, until Hazel comes out to find him.
You had said that Jamie would offer to come over and apologize to Brian for the false allegations against him, and Brian's refused that. I will take his apology.
At last, Hazel has cracked and throws Bob a lifeline.
I will accept his apology and consider calling off the police, because at this point in time, I'm having my statement taken tomorrow and he will be arrested by the end of the week.
Okay, I'll do my best. Right.
Now, to put the peace process back on track, the Colonel needs Jamie to apologise.
What I want you to do is exactly what I ask you to do, which is go out, make an apology, turn round and come back. Okay? So will you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Good man.
You can do that now.
Good man. Yeah, now.
Do you want me to do it now?
And we'll do it by the fence post, so get your coat on. He's prepared to apologise on the following two matters.
No, every single one of them, because every one of them is bullshit.
Well,
If
all
he's
I've
not
got...
man enough to apologize for his misdeeds and for his wrong allegations, then same in jail, bud.
I'm sorry, but I thought there were only two matters that I was going to get him to...
No, each and every incident that he alleged yesterday is false. 100% false.
Well, I can get him to apologise on two matters.
All or nothing.
Hazel has increased her demands. The Colonel must enter into shuttle diplomacy, going from one side to another to try and broker a deal.
She says that unless you apologise for that...
She's just
she
holding me
doesn't
to
want-
ransom, basically,
Yeah,
blackmailing me.
I have to say that's more than I expected.
No, I don't think.
It's blackmail.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I take back that I beat her.
Yeah.
That wasn't that reasonable?
But it's...
That she
Yeah,
falsely,
yeah.
falsely
Yeah.
alleges that I beat Zoe.
Okay.
It seems to be that
Stay
I'm doing
here.
a lot.
Can you
and
stay here? I know it's cold.
She's not doing a lot, if you
Yeah,
know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'll
Yeah.
try. Yeah?
Is that the only one?
I'll try that.
Is it the only
Take
one?
back the fact that you've beaten Zoe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any resolution requires people to come to the table with a slight willingness to compromise, and I'm asking you to compromise on this matter. I want you to say that's the only incident, and
That's the
actually,
only incident
Zoe
I'm aware
Vincent.
of.
Okay. And
Yes.
actually, he's not, therefore, to your knowledge, a serial wife beater.
No, I
To your
don't know that.
Good.
I
That's it.
don't know
That's
either
fine.
way.
Let's try. I'm sorry to
Bob
keep
reunites the two
repeating,
parties and ensures Jamie apologises for the false allegations he made during the negotiation.
Now, those things you are, I think, willing to apologise
Yes.
for. Is that correct?
Then you can go ahead and apologize.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry that if I've offended you in any way with these
False allegations.
false allegations.
Okay. And we've outlined what they are.
Accepted.
All right. Now,
Would like this whole
want.
thing to be over with,
You would.
and
here's
not
the-
to have.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You shouldn't have
Yeah.
made up the stuff yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't make anything up.
Yeah. No,
did,
hang
you
on.
just
Stop. You
apologised
just
for it.
apologise for it.
You just
Okay.
apologised.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
That's it. Hazel, stop.
He just
Hazel.
apologized.
apologised and then said he didn't make anything up.
Hazel.
That is not a sincere apology.
No, it is a sincere.
No, you just said you did not make anything up.
Yeah.
But you just apologised for it.
Yes, quiet. Please, listen.
No, I did not make anything up.
Okay, let's be quite clear. Let us not... Let's stop this. I'm going to get signatures on this, and I'll come round individually. And I really am... I'm going to come back in a few weeks' time. Please don't disappoint me.
Certainly.
Well, thanks very much.
Sorry, I don't want to touch you.
You okay? But you can touch...
Hazel, please.
Yeah, Hazel, Zoe...
No. He has... The allegations he made against my husband...
But he's withdrawn them. He's wrong.
He wants to
He's wrong, and he wants to apologise unequivocally for anything.
Sorry.
Okay, fine. But let's put it on the record. He wants to.
Touch him, sorry.
Okay. Step 1 was to get an apology so that we could have movement. Step 2 now is to get Zoe's list signed up to and agreed by both sides.
An hour later, Bob sets off to get signatures on Zoe's list. It includes several basic points, such as no drilling after 7 p.m, no more cameras pointing at each other's properties, and that both families will agree to leave one another alone.
I'd like you, Jamie and Zoe, to sign there, which is yours point, Zoe, the 7 that we agreed on, outside. And I'm going to leave 1 copy with you. They'll have a copy, and I will keep a copy. Hi, Hazel.
Man of the moment.
Hi.
Come on in.
Thanks.
It's better ending to this than I thought you could do.
Yeah.
Stunned.
And I made
As
sure
long
that...
as it does not start again, there will be no further police involvement from us.
This is a pivotal moment. Both sides have given or accepted an apology. I don't think they will be particular friends ever, but actually we've just seen for the first time ground being given on both sides, which is very important.
A few weeks later, life has already started to change for both families.
It feels more friendlier, and it's like you can go out there and you feel like no one's watching you. And
Well, they are, but it's not in the same way. You know, we walked out before and they'd just be like staring at you. Now they wave.
There has been no incidents that I can think of. The only thing that would be different would be the kids playing with each other and having fun with each other, you know, albeit with a 6-foot fence in between them. They still found a way to have fun.
1 month after his peace settlement, the Colonel returns to Kent to find out how both families are progressing. On the surface, it's good news. Part of the fence has been cut down so the kids can now play, and the scenic views are restored.
So, it's really nice to be back 4 weeks later.
Yes.
How's it gone?
Good.
Yeah.
There's been no incidents of concern as far as any of the old behaviour goes, so
Yeah.
Well, I
been
think,
Yeah.
again, the biggest guys you want to talk to are
the kids.
The kids.
Yeah.
In short, a whole different ball game
Yeah.
to 4
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm delighted for you. And
I'm
thanks very
delighted for the
much.
kids. That's the big
I'm
thing.
delighted
Yeah.
for everyone,
Yeah.
all people.
Tambourine.
Tell me, what do you think now?
we feel a lot happier. The children are a lot happier. They've got someone to play with. It's actually nice to speak to somebody, like instead of being like secluded from everything, sort of thing, isn't it? Because like we're just more or less on our own, weren't we? Isolated. All round, it just seems it's nice.
That's excellent.
Well done.
Thanks very much. Okay.
Smiles all round, and the Colonel is hopeful that the peace will last.
This was a classic battle that grew out of people not understanding the other person's point of view. Here we had a conflict where the children were suffering. Now they're talking and playing across the fence that previously divided them. That's a great result.